Welcome to Superchargers. I'm Daniel Thomas. Let's go. G'day, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. My guest on this episode is Yolonda Bey. Yolonda is the creator of Rollin Frozen, a rolled ice cream business inspired by her love of ice cream. In 2021, she launched her food truck, captivating customers with meticulously rolled ice cream, while also engaging with local communities, teaching kids the process. Enjoy my chat with Yolonda. Let's do it. I understand you were also in the movie Philadelphia as a kid. Can you talk about how that experience came about and what that was like for you?
Sure. So, when at birth, when my parents had me, the producer, I guess it was directors, producers were in the hospital that I was born at and was looking for a baby, for Denzel Washington's, daughter in the movie Philadelphia. So, at first, my mother didn't know who Denzel Washington was at the time. She called my father up. He ran to the hospital and was like, telling her to, put me in the movie. And that's really how it came about. So literally from the womb to the movie, like set. That's
Wow.
literally how it
Wow. So you
happened.
you were a baby. You were a baby in it.
I was a baby. I was just born.
What a way to come into the world, into show business on a film like that, which had a huge impact worldwide. Um,
Yes.
yeah, crazy. Yeah, that's fascinating that was like your your first experience. But in terms of having a entrepreneurial spirit, did you have this as a child? Like, did you notice this when you were quite young?
So for entrepreneur, no, not necessarily. Like it didn't like my entrepreneurial spirit didn't happen like until I want to say 19 when I went to trade school and I was invited to be in a small business class and I wanted to open up a daycare. But I just played around with things. Years later, I opened up a shoe, a bathing suit boutique, and then a shoe boutique right after. Um, but I didn't never really have the entrepreneur spirit, but I always knew I was destined to be great because I was in the movie. So being in that movie and just walking around with family and friends and everybody like, oh, that's the movie star, that's the movie star. And just like I just always knew I'm like, I'm going to be something. I didn't know exactly what it was. I did try acting classes and things like that in Philadelphia. It was extremely hard. I'm gonna be honest. Kudos to actors and actresses all over because it's just not easy to me. I still want to dive into acting though as an adult, so like my goal is to like work with Denzel Washington as an adult. So I got to get into back into my acting. Now that I'm grown now, but yeah, I didn't always have the entrepreneurial spirit. It literally just came to me. My husband, he's been an entrepreneur like pretty much like forever, always like selling things since he was in school, and then he has his own video production company. And so I kind of got my entrepreneurial spirit really from him.
How was school for you though? Like, were you into it? Were you like a good student, or did you find it was sort of not really giving you what you wanted? Did you go to college and stuff as well?
I didn't go to college. I went to like a trade school. So trade school is basically like when people go to like to get like a certification. So I went to get a administrative medical assistant certification. And during that time, it was other like trades inside the school. And I was always good. So for school, I was always good like with math and science and stuff like that. So I was good, but I didn't go to college. I didn't go to college, just trade school right after high school. And
Did
yeah, that's
I did a similar thing. The cool thing about like the trade stuff is it's like it's really practical. Like it gets you going, you know. It's not like so focused on the academic side of things. Like I originally did building design. It was almost more hardcore than doing like architecture at university because it was so practical and it just sort of set you up to get into like the workforce straight away. So I imagine it's the same with you. I appreciated that I had this really like practical sort of um not kind of airy fairy, like real nuts and bolts sort of thing, you know.
yeah,
And all this has led to Rollin Frozen, which is awesome. I must
yes.
say this is an ice cream food truck, and I must say I saw a photo of the truck and I love it because it's so vibrant. I love vibrant colors. And I love how like it's just such a it's just you look at it and it's like a happy truck. Now, Melbourne, where I come from, we have a lot of, I mean, I live in Germany, but Melbourne, where I'm from, we have a huge sort of call it high end restaurant dessert culture. So we have, I don't know if you've been to Australia, but we have very fancy ice creams and stuff going on. But I've never had rolled ice cream. So um, how did the business come about? And can you talk a little bit about this process of like rolled ice cream, why that's unique?
Yeah, sure. So Rollin Frozen came about literally. I know once I stopped doing the shoe boutique and the bathing suit boutique, I wanted to do something where I could be more like personable, like more like hands-on kind of business. All the other businesses was online. So Rollin Frozen came about because my love for ice cream. Like I love ice cream. My husband and I would travel a lot. We would travel all over. We always looking for the best ice cream places wherever we are. So I was in Miami, Florida, one day with my husband, and we came across a rolled ice cream business. And initially, I was like really intrigued. I'm like, oh my God, this is a different way of eating ice cream. So once I got back home, I like try to like gather my thoughts and everything, and just writing down, doing more research on rolled ice cream, and that's when Rollin Frozen came about. I literally at home, just doing my research, looking at YouTube videos, videos on Instagram, all over, just trying to do my research because I know that I didn't want to be like everyone else was doing, like scooped ice cream and what is it, the soft serve ice cream. I wanted to be different. I wanted to give people an experience when they came to my business. So that's how Rollin Frozen came about. Now, initially, I didn't know that I was going to go with the food truck versus a brick and mortar, but I'm glad I did because with the food truck, you can always pivot. And if you're not making money at one location, you can always move your truck to another location.
That's what's awesome about like the food truck. It's sort of like it kind of epitomizes the small business kind of thing because it's all in one. Like you say, you can move it. Um, it doesn't have some of the call it limitations with the brick and mortar stuff like permits and things like that. I imagine you still need that type of stuff, but it's sort of like the ultimate little all in one thing, and it's so cool that it was not only something you're passionate about, but personable and gets you like engaging with the community firsthand. So it's I mean, it's not a small thing, a food truck, but it's like this compact little world. There's so much in it, right?
Yes. Ooh, a food truck. Yeah, it's like a little kitchen, I guess. Like,
Mm.
it's small, it's not big, but it's less overhead. So that that makes up for a lot. So you receive most money, versus like paying all these bills and everything when it comes to a brick and mortar.
Is it seasonal for you? So do you run it all year round?
I tried to. So I have done the ice cream in the wintertime. I recently started my STEM classes where I teach kids the science behind raw ice cream. So I want to kind of tap more into that in the wintertime versus, the summertime, because summertime is my busy season. So I want to working with the kids is just something I love to do. So that's
It's
what
so
I plan to do. Oh, sorry.
it's so awesome that you're doing that because you don't see many food trucks that are actually sort of letting people get involved in the process and teaching them. So the fact that you have this like two in one, this this ice cream school on the road as well, it's kind of proof in the pudding, so to speak. The pudding, no, it's proof it's proof of your passion to engage with the community. The fact that you're teaching these kids out of it and you're running the business. Like that's a very cool. You don't see, you go to like a food truck festival and you don't see too many of the trucks like sort of showing people how to make burritos or whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's correct. But so with this classes though, I have portable ice cream. So I actually go to like schools and different nonprofit organizations, literally have a class full of kids. I give them like a an introduction on how things will be. I let them know, like, the different temperatures the ice cream machine needs to be at, the environment like the ice cream needs to be at to make the perfect rolls. They watch it and then they get a chance to make the ice cream themselves. And then they get a chance to eat it, which is their favorite part. Once they eat the ice cream, they're just so excited. So it's really so cool. Like it's really my favorite thing to do. And I realized once I like step back from my business, like far as like the food truck, and even if I get a brick and mortar like in the future, I always want to do the STEM classes with the kids because it's just something that I really truly love to do.
I imagine as a kid, like you're going to school and it's like today we're going to learn how to make ice cream, and then you can just roll that truck into the schoolyard. Like they must just light up.
They love it. Oh my goodness. The kids, they run to me, they give me hugs. They love it.
Yeah, but what satisfying work for you, because if they have interest in any sort of like chef or food type stuff, it might show them something. You never know how it's going to shape their future, which must be really satisfying.
Very, very satisfying. Even if I can make the smallest impact on a kid's life, anybody's life, I that's that's just everything to me. Everything.
Yeah. So was it a big leap for you to go into the business? Like, was there any fear associated with that? Was there any doubts about it, or were you just very much like focused on, and where was like, how did you make a first step toward it?
Good question. Yes, first of all, I was definitely scared. I didn't just get up and just think everything's going to work because owning a business period you have to do is paperwork and getting the proper licenses to operate. So it was a lot, going into owning a business, especially a physical business versus like an online business. So I was very scared. I was very nervous, but just I had a friend that had a food truck in Philadelphia that kind of walked me through the process, like of you need to contact this person to get this paperwork. You need to have your business license. You need to get your food handler's license. You need to get a safe certification. So I had someone walk me through, which made it easier, but it was very stressful because things don't happen the way you see it. Like you'd be like, okay, I think I opened my business in February of 2021, but I didn't get a chance to open my food truck until September because I had to wait for food inspectors to come and inspect my truck. And if something wasn't right, it could be the refrigerator temperature wasn't correct. I had to come back and then make sure things are right. So it's just a long process, but I'm enjoying the ride. It's been very stressful for me. But now that I quit my 9 to 5 last year, I'm like all in. And even though like I've wanted to give up so many times, even more recently, but my passion for this, I just can't. I really love what I do, and I had to sit and think to myself like, do you really love this? And that was the question for me that I had to answer. And I'm like, this is what I love to do. So I just can't give up. I just got to keep going, no matter all the obstacles thrown my way. Like right now, Florida, I relocated to Florida because it's hot all year round in Florida, so I can operate all year round in
Mm.
Florida. But Florida is known for hurricanes and tropical storms, so that affects my business because if it's hurricanes and tropical storms, nobody is coming out to get ice cream. So I took a big loss dealing with all these hurricanes and stuff. So I had to pivot, and I decided to go back to Philadelphia, which I'm in the process of doing right now.
But that's the awesome thing about it, is that you can pivot. If it's something that's so fixed, when the tropical storm comes, you can like hightail it out of there. That's like a huge advantage. Was there a lot of initial investment needed? Like, did you get help with that, or had you saved for it?
So both. So I had a 9 to 5, and I would save my money all the time. So I had like maybe like $40,000 saved. But I didn't want to put all of my money initially into that. So I took a personal loan. I think I took like a $25,000 loan. So I used that, but I also emptied out my entire savings to put into my truck. So it was a lot. It was a lot initially, to start up, but I made my money back.
Yeah, but I mean the risk was there with the passion, and I just think it comes up on the show a lot. Like, as long as when you're aligned with what you love, like there's more of a willingness to kind of suffer for that. So it's not all like ice cream and sunshine, right? But it is all ice cream, but it's not like sunshine and roses all the time. But you're
Yeah.
willing you're willing to go through those like ups and downs because it means so much to you. And again, with what you're doing with the kids, I just love it when stuff like that feeds into itself, because it's also like an authentic, organic kind of promotion in a way to these families. So it's all feeding into. Did you think of it like that as well?
No, not initially. Like things don't start coming to you as you pivot and maneuver through the obstacles that you have to. So initially, I didn't think of the STEM things until I did more research. And my family, like, they were like, you can teach kids like about roll ice cream. And then I started doing research. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is perfect. And then that's how that came about. But things just come as as the day goes. So I might come up with an idea today and want to sorry, and want to go for it, like do something with the idea that executed. That's the word I was looking for. I'm sorry. So yeah, so I literally just go with the flow, and that's how things go about with my business. And I ask my customers, like, if I have an idea and I'm like, guys, what flavor ice cream would you like to see? And my customers will let me know, like on my social media network, and say, hey, I want to see Reese's Pieces or something like that. And the cool thing about roll ice cream is I can make any ice cream flavor because I make it to order. So I can make any ice cream flavor and it's going to be good. So if you have an idea of ice cream flavor, I can make it. And so I like to get, my customers' feedback, and that's how I come up with ideas as well.
That's awesome to bring them on board too with their ideas. That's very cool. How big is the team you have working for you, and does it get competitive with other food trucks, or is it we're all in this together type thing?
Okay, so the competitiveness with my food truck, I don't think I really have any. I've seen a lot of roll ice cream stores, but far as food trucks, I'm like the only one that
Hmm.
I've seen so far. My team, well, I had a team in Florida. It was three of us, two of us on the truck, and then like an event, I would have a family member come and do events with me in Florida. In Philadelphia, the same thing. It was about three of us in Philly. But now that I'm relocating back to Philly, I have so many people reaching out to me like, "Hey, if you need help, I want to work for you." So I think it's going to grow in Philly very soon.
Does it kind of motivate you to perhaps have to expand, or are you happy to keep it at this? Like, is it giving you lots of ideas to kind of grow and maybe have more or other businesses, or are you happy just with this at right now?
Oh
It's
no, I want
enough.
to expand. I want to expand 100%. I want to expand. I want more food trucks. I want like a drive-through brick and mortar, realizing that you can't predict the weather, but people pay for convenience. So if you can go to the drive-through, you see like McDonald's and all these other drive-throughs that people would go to. That's how I want my business to be. So I want like a drive-through brick and mortar where people can come all over the world. Australia, Germany, everywhere. Like I want to be like a global brand. I really do, and that's my hope for Rollin Frozen.
There's the I don't know if you've been to Germany either, but there's the where I am in Hamburg, there's the Reeperbahn, which is kind of like a sort of mini Vegas, crazy kind of place where there's something like 1,000 bars in a very small kind of area. But there's events and concerts and everything, and right through the middle there, they have loads of food trucks. So I'm sure something like that would go awesome. Um, the thing is, just I always laugh because on my street here in Germany, we have an ice cream shop. It's like we're not in like a busy part, but there's an ice cream shop on our city, like in the outer kind of, call it a suburb, and it's still less than €2 for an ice cream. But when I went back to Australia last time, I was on a bit of a like, because Australia's expensive. I thought, what's something I can do for the family that's pretty cheap on the first night? And I thought I'll take them all for ice cream. And in Melbourne, it was $57 for five ice creams. So
I wonder what.
Yeah, we have a, Australia high cost of living, high income. Like it's all relative. Germany sort of lower cost, it's still cheap. But I'm not in the ice cream world, but I'm like, wow, in Germany it's, €2 and I go home and it's $57 for like ice creams to the family. That so I always kind of look at the price of ice cream in an interesting way. I don't know what it is in the States. I imagine it's kind of standard pricing.
Oh my goodness. First of all, I don't know what 57, is it euros in Australia? I
Dollars,
don't,
dollars,
that's dollars.
$57. Similar to the
Wow. That's,
US. Yeah, similar to the US dollar. Yeah.
so I never been to Australia or Germany. My husband's been to Germany, and that's on our bucket list. He wants to take me back because he was out in Germany for work. So I would love to go to Germany just to get the feel of things, because I can look and just to see how the ice cream scene is, and
Yeah.
just kind
We
kind
have
of
we
see.
we have a few places around here and they're all different, which is what I like. That they all offer different things, but I haven't seen the rolled thing. And they love crepes and like pancakes over here. So I imagine like it would make sense the rolled thing. This is just an observation for me. I know nothing. I
Yes.
know nothing. It's what I experience and what I see around. So yeah, it might be of interest
Yeah, I'm
to,
going to visit Germany. Everywhere I go, I'm always with my thinking cap on, so I'm always
yeah.
taking notes wherever I go, just looking at the scene, trying to see, how I could fit my business in. So, I'll definitely want to go visit Germany. It's on my list of places to go.
But that's what I mean by like the truck is like the ultimate like test of what you're doing. It's all. I imagine you've grown a lot through this experience, and I mean you're just delving into it now, but there's no limit to how far it can sort of go. I imagine. Um, it's it's a tradition on the show to have like guests offer some kind of practice or challenge for listeners. Is there something that you've done in your daily life that's really helped you, or some kind of challenge that maybe when you were thinking about doing this business, is there something you would challenge people to do? It can be anything
That's a good
really.
question.
It can be absolutely anything, like just something that's benefited you in your life, or that you
A-
would challenge people to do.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me think. I would say, that's such a good question. Um, I think people like, okay, so if you are trying to go into business, I want to leave people with this. I want to say definitely do your research. I don't know if everybody is spiritual or anything, but I would definitely say pray and meditate, just to kind of get a clear mind to think exactly what you want to do. But starting with doing your research. And if you have someone to help you, like someone that you know that's in business, reach out to them. Don't be scared to ask questions. I ask a lot of questions. People tell me all the time, you ask a lot of questions, because I need to make sure I have all the information I need to succeed. So ask questions, do your research. If you got to hire people to help you, hire them. If you don't have the money or resources to do that, YouTube is where I say YouTube University, because you can really learn anything off of YouTube. Study your competitors. If it's somebody in the same business as you, study them. Look at what they're doing. Try to see what you can do differently than what they're doing to bring customers to you. But like I said, do your research. Study, 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 study. Reach out to people that can help you, whether it's family, friends, get a mentor. And yeah, I think that if you and keep going, like even if you think like, oh my God, this isn't working out for me, because I have those moments all the time, even to this day, it will work, because consistency, anybody that's consistent will win. You just gotta stay. It don't matter if it takes 10 years to get where you gotta go. Do it. Stay to it. Stick to it. And because that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to win. So that's what I want to leave with the audience that's watching this or listening to this.
That's awesome. Consistency comes up a lot, like just the real being consistent, um, just consistent with all those little things that might be a little bit mundane or whatever, but consistency is really just like just showing up just keep going, like you say. So consistencies, awesome.
Always. Oh, sorry. I want to say always be consistent. When I wasn't consistent, I wasn't making real money. As soon as I became consistent, that's when I started seeing real money. So consistency
Mm.
for sure.
Yeah, I've heard it a lot, even with athletes. Like just stick to the game plan, like regardless of the win or loss, like just stay on the game plan and the routines and the consistency and the yeah, it's that thing about sort of underestimating what you can. I'm going to butcher this, but like overestimating what you can do in a year, but underestimating what you can do in 5. The sort of long term
Oh, I like
game,
that.
the consistency
Yes,
side of it. Where can people find Rollin Frozen? Like, does it has a social media presence?
absolutely. So we have a website, rollinfrozen.com, Rollin, Rollin, no G.com. Um, Facebook, Rollin Frozen, Instagram, Rollin Frozen, TikTok, Rollin Frozen. So you can find us everywhere at Rollin Frozen.
And where can people find you? That's you as well. You are the
Oh,
brand.
I am the brand, but my personal Instagram is Mrs. MRS underscore Bey Bey. That's where you can find me. I'm learning how to grow my personal uh social media accounts now. I was really focused on Rollin Frozen, but I am my brand too. So I do other things. I'm about to come out with an ebook on teaching people how to open up a roll ice cream business. So yeah, that's how you can reach me. You can email me info@rollinfrozen.com. You can email my personal email at mrsbaybusiness@gmail.com.
I imagine there's a lot of things. It's awesome that you're doing that book because I imagine there's a lot of things from the ice cream business that can be taught to many different areas. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I have a lot of different things that I'm talking about in the book. I share my resources. It's a lot of things I put into this ebook. So I'm so happy to release it soon. So,
Yeah, and share the knowledge. What's the top 3 ice cream flavors that you recommend?
okay. Well, I'm just going to go top three. So I want to say that the audience is different in Florida than Philadelphia, but I'm gonna say in Florida, our top three flavors would be cookies and cream, and that's number one everywhere. Cookies and cream is just the number one ice cream flavor. So cookies and cream, I have a flavor called Chunky Monkey, which includes bananas and Nutella, and then strawberry shortcake. That's been a real good one that a lot of people like here as well. So those are the top three flavors that I sell in my business.
I think the cookies and cream is a worldwide phenomenon. Um, awesome to chat. That's really it's a cool little business you got going there, and I'm sure it's gonna just grow. And the fact that you're so passionate about it and that you're on top of that teaching these kids, it's really inspiring stuff. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I read your bio. I was very impressed, with the acting and stuff. I love that. So thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
There you go, guys. Honest ratings for the show on Apple are appreciated. If you have a guest suggestion, please feel free to reach out on my website at danielthomas.co. I'm also on social media at Mr. Dan Thomas. Catch you on the next episode.